Itaewon, it is a well-known city name worldwide. The reason why Itaewon caught the attention of the world was not so good. The national disaster in Itaewon left 159 multinational victims. This is an obvious fact. The Korean government had a clear legal responsibility to take responsibility for the safety of its citizens and was able to sufficiently prevent disaster when it occurred. Many citizens at the scene reported to the National Police Agency, and the head of the district, the National Police Agency, and the Minister of Public Security were aware of the situation in Itaewon at the time. However, no appropriate action was taken, and citizens on the scene called 112 to report it, which was thoroughly ignored. This resulted in multinational deaths. In response, the foreign ministries of each country issued statements of strong condemnation of the mission of the Korean government, but this was also ignored by the Korean government. Civic groups supporting the South Korean president held swear was 24 hours a day for over 100 days, right next to the incense burning in Itaewon to honor the victims. Regarding these second prosecution acts, the district office and the administration neglected without taking any action. Even now, the Korean government neglects and is indifferent to the secondary harm of civic groups who make hateful remarks about the families of the victims of the Itaewon disaster. The incense burning in front of City Hall, Seoul City Hall, is in danger of being demolished soon due to the opposition of the mayor of Seoul. The purpose of installing the incense burner in front of Seoul City Hall is that responsibility for repeated large-scale disasters due to the government's mission and is natural for the public interest to prevent recurrence. However, the South Korean government and the city of Seoul are trying to forcibly demolish the incense burner built by the families of the victims of Itaewon disaster as if they want to hide their crimes. The South Korean government is also suppressing the freedom of the press to prevent the media from reporting their wrongdoings, filing civil and criminal lawsuits against journalists and media outlets reporting the truth about the Itaewon disaster. Freedom of press and publication is guaranteed by the stipulated clause in the Korean Constitution. However, the South Korean government and the Seoul metropolitan government are thoroughly ignoring this. Right now, Korea's liberal democracy is being threatened and the constitutional order is being thoroughly destroyed. Large-scale rallies are held every weekend around Seoul City Hall, demanding the government take responsibility for the Itaewon disaster. Of course, middle school and high school students are also participating in this rally. However, the South Korean government and the Seoul metropolitan government are thoroughly suppressing freedom of assembly and association, falsely accusing the pub group organized by the middle school and high school students participating in the memorial assembly as a North Korean spy guys. The prevailing opinion is that the Korean president should be regarded as a de facto, ignoring Iran, China, and Taiwan. This is because the statement that included Iran as an axis of evil wrong, along with the North Korean and the Middle East, was made by the ARC unit, a South Korean dispatched unit stationed in United Arab Emirates. Despite the protests in the Iranian government, the South Korean president is rather insisting that Iran is mistaken and heard the wrong thing. This is in the end shows the Korean president is completely ignoring Iran. The Korean president has also cursed at US President Biden, as it is said that he even made a sarcastic remark about US Congress, saying that they were assholes. An analysis that there must be a cause for this behaviors is dominant in Korea. North Korea's Kim Il-sung likes nuclear weapons. Kim Jong-un likes nuclear weapons, and the South Korean president likes nuclear weapons so much that he insists on building more nuclear power plants. Despite being a member of the NPT, the president of South Korea is bragging that it should arm itself with nuclear weapons. In South Korea, like North Korea, liberal democracy is gradually collapsing. South Korea's judiciary is holding double standards in the same case, acquitting the pro-Japanese and harshly condemning the patriotic former Justice Minister Cho Guk. The daughter of former Attorney General Cho Guk was found guilty of receiving the scholarship of several million won from Busan Medical School, but acquitted a pro-Japanese former member of the National Assembly who received 5 billion won. Currently, South Korea is said to be in a process of peacock politics in order for the executioner to take control of judiciary and legislature. Even as pro-Japanese media in Korea occupy 70% of media in Korea, they are pouring out biased articles and reports that oppress patriots and plotting to return to the era of Japanese colonial rule, and 45% of the public agrees with that. It is doing. For this reason, pro-Japanese citizens are holding a collective demonstration to demolish the comforting girl statue that was built to comfort Korean victims who were exploited as sex slaves by the Japanese imperialists. It is now difficult to find the Wednesday rally, which was held every Wednesday. Korea is currently divided into pro-Japanese and patriotic people, and they are in sharp confrontation with each other. For this, patriotic people who are fighting for liberal democracy are holding candlelight vigils every week centered on political party called the Democratic Party of Korea. Currently, South Korea's trade deficit is on all-time high, which is said to have been caused by the South Korean president's anti-Chinese China foreign policy. Currently, freedom of expression is suppressed by the president in South Korea. Freedom of press and publication is suppressed, and even freedom of conscience is threatened. In addition, the three rights of labor thoroughly suppressed by the public security operation politics, and judiciary takes the posture of flattering the president, creates pro-Japanese, condemns patriots, and participate in selling out the country. Labor unions in South Korea are now being framed as spies and are struggling to hold on. In South Korea, like a communist regime in North Korea, the pro-Japanese media are mocking the eyes or ears of people by hiding what they need to know and distorting the truth to pour out false articles. If the North Korea media is in position to praise Kim Jong-un, 70% of South Korea media is helping the dictatorship revive by only flattering and praising South Korea president. It has come to a point where no one can predict what the future of Korean crisis will be like, and patriotic citizens are holding candlelight rally every Saturday to protect liberal democracy from the Korean persecution dictatorship. Korea's democracy, like a candlelight before the wind, is literally in crisis.